What is going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. So I'm gonna be completely transparent with you guys. I actually forgot to make a intro for this video. I usually forget to make outros, but here we are. So I do want to let you guys know that I definitely messed up in the process of this video, and I'm sure you guys are gonna notice it and comment down below. But if you guys don't, I'm gonna let you guys know right now. Because unfortunately there is not a guide to installing the Auto Sport Engineering kit. Basically, when I installed it, I actually installed the pilot bearing the wrong way. I should have known because it wasn't actually fitting correctly, but I saw the machine lip on the outside of the pilot bearing piece to the flywheel, and I thought you had to bang it in. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. Let's get into this video.
Search everywhere.
So unfortunately, that was my mistake, which I'm hoping to tell you guys now so that when you guys see it, you'll understand, as well as if you guys are watching this and doing it yourself, you will not forget to flip it the other way. So what I would recommend doing is I would recommend to install the flywheel onto your engine. And then as soon as the flywheel is installed, go ahead and insert that piece in. It's gonna slip right in. Let me just tell you that right now. That's what she said. And so that's when you're gonna know it fits. I wish I would have had common sense enough to do that, but because I have been in such a rush to get this car done, I'm just missing it. I miss this car, I miss driving it, and I wanna drive it with the 6-speed already. Being underneath the car, there's a lot of things that are happening. I'm the only person here, which means no excuses. Things definitely get overlooked sometimes. So hopefully my mistake kind of helps you guys not make that same mistake. Maybe I'm the only one that did it, and I will definitely be the first to admit that I did it, because if I didn't do it, then, well, you guys wouldn't know the correct way. So I'm putting myself out there for you guys, so I hope you guys appreciate that. But with that being said, let's jump into this video. I think we are gonna get straight into it, and we're gonna remove the flex plate. There we go. Yeah, this thing has definitely seen better days. Oh, there we go. Rear main seal is out. We got a new rear main seal right here. Hopefully you can see the part number. We are going to be installing our custom flywheel that has the Fidanza friction plate on it, and then we have the Z1 pressure plate with the 6-puck disc. So I'm really excited to be installing this. I still have to figure out how exactly this all goes together, but we have our alignment tool, which I'm excited for, and we even give you a new pilot bearing. That is super cool. Well, we won't be needing that. Like, it's actually really cool that they send you another one, so shout out to Z1 Motorsports for sending that out. About to go underneath the car and put these in. I do have the bolts right here, actually. So this is going to be for the pressure plate. This is going to be for the flywheel. And then we also have these, which are going to be our drive shaft to the Weebo. I have red Loctite for this, so don't forget the Loctite. Please do not forget Loctite. And also, this right here is lubricant that you put underneath the bolt. So basically you put it right, you're gonna put it right around the flange, just so that it can rotate and you can torque it without it catching anything. Just get the bottom few threads. This Loctite does dry kind of fast, so make sure you're ready for it. And then put a little dip of this on the tip of the flange. And it's gonna rotate, so you just have to put it on one spot. We're gonna start on this side right here. Super important step, don't forget to put a socket onto your crank pulley so that when you go ahead and tighten your flywheel bolts that the engine won't spin. So that's what I'm doing here. And make sure what I usually do is I'll push the handle of the ratchet up against something so that you don't have to have another person holding on to it. So really simple but really important, so don't forget to do this. Okay, I'm including this bit in the video because I want you guys to learn from my mistakes, and please don't cringe. I know it looks terrible, but you don't need to do this. This is the part where you flip the pilot bearing machine part around and you just slip it in. So please learn from my mistakes. I'm only including this part of the video so you guys can learn, because it was a pain in my ass and I should have known better, but I'm doing this for you guys. So please don't hate me in the comments. I have fixed it since the making of this video. So please, 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 please don't do this. Just flip it around, make your life a whole lot easier. So the next step in this process was to use heat to basically soften up the metal in the transmission tunnel so that I could actually widen it. I used a dead blow because I didn't want the chance of putting a hole in the transmission tunnel. It gave me a little bit of security. It wasn't going to happen, but I just wanted to be on the safe side. So I took the measuring tape out to see how much area I had to move, so to speak, so that the bell housing could go in smoothly. I'm not entirely sure if you guys can see, the top bolts are way higher than they need to be, which I actually didn't catch on until later, so I didn't know that the engine was tilted forward so much. So that becomes an issue later on, which means I definitely widened up this transmission tunnel way too much, because instead of using the dead blow, I actually went out and got an air hammer, and now the transmission tunnel is way wider than it has to be, but it actually helps a lot because now I can get to the top transmission bolts way easier. You will have trouble putting the transmission in, and there's two reasons why. First, make sure that when you drop your automatic transmission, make sure the engine is level. And secondly, I would definitely recommend put some high temp red grease onto the tip of your input shaft on your SC300. The reason why is because you will feel it go into the pilot bearing when you finally go to put the bell housing on and connect everything. However, what I had to unfortunately do, because I didn't put enough grease on, I was hoping the pilot bearing needles would, be able to slip it in, so to speak. You have to make sure that you go back and forth with the bell housing, tightening one side and then the other. Hopefully that helps you guys. If not, I might have just did the hardest install ever, but I'm okay with that because at least I learned, and hopefully you guys will have it a lot easier. Here's where things get fun. You actually have to put in the bolts almost like a star pattern, as if you were putting on a wheel, where you have to do top, bottom, and both sides, and you have to almost thread each bolt in the same amount on each side. So like you tighten one and you go to the next and tighten another one, and then go to the next and tighten another one. The reason being is that this clutch to adapter, there's a little bit of space where it doesn't totally fit flush over the friction plate, so you actually have to ease it on little by little. So that's what I am doing right now, or that is, I had everything just hand tight, but I was tightening it down as much as I felt comfortable with, not all the way tight, but just enough so that the disc would line up evenly around all the corners. And then what I ended up doing after this is I would take each individual bolt out and I would Loctite and use the ARP lubricant on them, and then I would put them in all the way, torquing each one of them individually. And I would definitely recommend doing a star pattern when you do this, just so that it's easier to figure out which one you've done already. I actually had to take the clutch off 3 to 4 times just to make sure that everything was good, because this is a hugely important component in the swap process. And so go ahead and just make sure you install it properly, and don't be the person to install one bolt all the way and then have the other side not line up correctly. Hope you guys like this series, because my body is definitely not liking it, but I'm loving just trying to figure all this out, because I don't feel like there's a lot of videos going in depth of every single step like this one is. So if you guys like that, give this video a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the Ohana because we're making things happen over here. So, alright, let's stop talking story, let's get into it. Okay, so, real quick, I forgot to install this, and this is your energy suspension bushing. The part number is 3.1108. G is in Georgia, and it is for GM rear-wheel drive cars and two-wheel drive trucks. So it just naturally fits on a sittable 9 because apparently I'm running Nissan, GM, Toyota stuff. So if you want to get a solid bushing mount for this swap, I believe Auto Sport Engineering sells this, but if you want to get it just online, find it cheaper, go for it. But yeah, so this is what we're going to install right now. So I thankfully saved the bolts that you remove from your stock C009 transmission mount, and you just put it on here, snug it up, and then after you're done with that, you put it under the car. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, let's get it done. You guys, I got it in. Well, it's not in yet, but it's here. Look at that. Look at that, so sexy. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Alright, so now is the task of actually getting it up and in. So that's gonna be the fun part. Wait to put it up, get all the electrical done, and nope, you know what? We're putting it up, we're doing it, and then I'll get the electrical figured out later. So that's what's gonna happen because the wires hang down and they have to wrap around the back, so we'll be chilling. Thanks guys for answering my question. Alright, let's struggle and get this done with. Sick. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was probably one of the videos that disappointed me the most. The reason being is I did not film anything else after this point in the video. I didn't film the transmission being jacked up into the transmission tunnel. I didn't film the transmission made into the engine where I actually got the input shaft into the pilot bearing and got it all snug. And the reason being is I got really upset and I got really pissed off because I didn't have anyone to help. And not that I'm expecting anyone to help and expecting any sympathy, but when you are going through this process and you're doing it yourself, it's one of those things where, you know, you take so much energy into doing something, and it's the hardest thing to keep the energy going when nothing is going your way. And I mean absolutely nothing. Like, this video is probably the hardest one for me to edit and really show you guys everything that I did right, because I didn't do much right at all. And it's going to be a learning experience, trust me. Like, I take all of these as learning experiences, but like, I know so much now that I wish I knew before, and this whole video could have been so much easier to do. And this transmission swap, like, this was like the most vital video of this entire series, and I feel like I really slacked on my part. Not that I can't be too upset about myself, but the fact that there is no instructions on how to do this swap, especially from the manufacturer of Autosport Engineering, like, that really disappoints me. Yes, this kit is extremely budget. Like, don't get me wrong, it's one of the most budget kits out there. But the thing that really disappointed me the most was that I bought the kit under the assumption that the kit was going to fit my SC300. And I even talked to Tony on the phone while I was ordering the kit, and I mentioned the SC300 multiple times. Like, first off, the mount wasn't for an SC300, it was for a G35. It wasn't until I did an unboxing video in this series that someone said that's a different mount that I got, so that's not correct. And me being naive, I was like, it was probably a new one, and I was a dumbass. Like, I was so dumb. And the fact is that I had to put myself out there, being, like, owning up to being a dummy, because the company didn't educate me better. What really upsets me the most is that the company that sells this product didn't inform me enough to be able to order the proper parts that I needed. Like, even if it was just a paper instructions of this is how it's supposed to look, because I mean, maybe I'm just, complaining about a bunch of stuff because I did it wrong, but I personally feel that there needs to be better instructions, especially for custom stuff, because, like, for example, me, I've never done this before, and now that I've done it, if I try to do it again, it's going to be much easier. Like, I feel much more comfortable because I know exactly what I did wrong, and I know exactly how to fix it. However, that gray area of not knowing what to do in the moment or like how to proceed shouldn't be there, because so many people have done this kit before. You're spending a lot of money. Yes, it is one of the most budget kits out there for a reason, but you're still spending a lot of money. And the fact of the matter is that you spend all this money, yet all of this error can happen, and that should not be the case. I'm hoping that you guys find this video helpful when you guys are doing this kit, aren't going to make the same mistakes I made. It's really annoying to me that, like, I had to do everything wrong in this video and find that out later. Yes, I could have called in to the company and asked, which I did, but there should be diagrams in place, instruction in place, something in place for the general average person that is doing this swap to their car to have an idea of how to do it correctly and not have to ruin a kit, because the kit's not ruined, but struggle as hard as I did trying to get this kit to work. You get what you pay for. Definitely not talking down about Autosport Engineering. Great customer service, and they're a small business. However, for the amount of products that they offer for the JZ, both GT and GE engines, I personally feel like there needs to be better user instructions on the website. Maybe there is, and I just didn't think to look because of my hard-headedness, so that's my fault. It needs to be better. With that being said, I appreciate you guys watching this video. We're so close to getting the SC done. I hate ending a video on such a negative note, because I'm excited, and I just know that once this whole build is done, I'm gonna be so stoked, I'm gonna be so happy, and I'm obviously hoping that there's no more hiccups for the rest of the series of this manual swap. Manual swaps aren't just an overnight thing. Like, you're taking, well, in my situation, you're taking a transmission that was never intended to fit or work in this car, and you're putting it and mating it to an engine that was never meant to be mated to this transmission. And I could have done an easier swap. I could have gone W50 or W58 or R154, but this was the most cost-effective way for me to show you guys how to rebuild a C009, because I love the C009 transmissions. They are very stout. I guess what I'm trying to put this video back into a positive light is always try your best to research the most you can into something, interest you have. And the reason why I say that is because we are in the information age where everything is literally just like a keyboard type away. And I encourage all of you guys to do this, because nothing's ever going to be given to you. And prime example is this video. So you have to go out there and you have to take it for yourself. You have to show those that can help push you into the next chapter of that passion, or the path leading to the passion that you want to take. You have to put your time into growing your network, growing your relationships with people that are in that category or in that interest, and you have to show your worth, because no one's going to hand you anything in life. You are the only one that can dictate how successful you are trying to become more successful in whatever field of interest you have or are going into. So hopefully you guys have learned something from this video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. I am going to not be disappointed, but I'm gonna learn from these small mistakes that I've made and get better, because that's all you can really do in life, is just get better and have a positive mindset. So with that being said, guys, thank you again so much for watching this video. I very much appreciate you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already, and definitely leave a like on this video, because I want as many people to see this video as possible, so that they, especially if they're doing this C009 auto smart engineering swap, but not only that, if like they just need to see someone fail so much more to just make them understand that whatever situation that they are in, there's always someone that's going through worse. See you guys in the next video, and always remember, no matter how hard it is for you to live by this, always stay positive and stay true to who you are. I'll see you guys in the next video. Shoots!